Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It's another wonderful Wednesday, Thursday, and now this Friday. Each day is a blessing, and we embrace it. We're hopefully prayerful and purposeful, and as we do and plan, that there will be to the benefit of not ourselves only, but each other. As we invite you to be a part of our discussion and go into the weekend on a Friday, our good friend Mario D. Rankin will sit with us as he makes his way into the studio. Hopefully the rain doesn't keep him away. The parking isn't, so challenging. Well, we can talk about lots of things, but we want you to participate. Give us a shout, 949-8037, 949-6990. You may be like me inside a cubicle that the only view outside is in your, imagination. Well, here I am on the hilltop looking down to the bay. Sea is just naturally washing against the iron shore as the sun just reflects, the beautiful sunshine. One has to have a creative and imaginative perspective, and if we are hopeful, we may find that there's much to be embraced. So please join me as we are not only positive, we are pensive, and in that we're going to be productive. So together, we're going to make our people that much more together. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. We say many of the times what we feel is often reflected in how we perceive. Sometimes what we feel is masked because we want to present and project something that is unfortunately not just only false and superficial, but think of children. Do you recognize that they share with you as they feel it? And only until, we cause them, to feel as if they're not allowed to feel what they feel and express it. That share being, that emotive, sense of, well, what is this that I feel? You can hear and you can see, but what your mama say, you can't hear, you can feel. Well, that feeling doesn't always have to be punitive. Now, what are we feeling? Is the rain that is, sort of drizzling down in some places, a torrential downpour, causing you to feel nostalgic of those days of yesteryear where on the tin roof it lulled you to sleep? Or is it that it's impeding what you see as progress, causing you not to be able to go out and profit from your endeavors? Is it a feeling that you have a sense of trepidation? That should it continue to have this, sense of impending flood, you might experience not just physical and financial devastation, either through the lack of adequate insurance or none at all. The impediments that the flood waters might pose in you navigating your paths. Well, Susan knows the songs, and isn't there a song about feelings? I won't try to sing it. It's a song that I like. I invite you, as you share with us what you're feeling, share with us what you should be thinking and what we should be doing And as a good friend, Mario D. Rankin joins us. Here's a man that I've shared publicly, has been willing to give a thought to what he says, to have the courage to share it, and maybe, my good friend, encourage others that, if we can say it, others too can be, courageous enough to give us their perspective. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm pretty good, man. Good afternoon to your listening audience. And thank you again for obviously inviting me in periodically to come and have some open dialogue with the public.
Thank you. And with her consent, I share with you in the public. Here is, I won't say someone just because she's a bit older than me, that she's by any means an older person, right? But her experience and her expertise, the willingness to share from her life, her education. She says one thing that she's not able to publicly come and share her view. She can stand in front of the boardroom as a classroom. She can stand in front of the audience and make a presentation, whether it's the PTA or a public forum. That's not a problem. But to sit in a mic, to sit and be willing to say, hey, this is what I think. And when I mentioned to her that, this is the guest today after she asked, I know him. I said, well, do you? I said, no, I don't know him. But you have a podcast, word of mouth, you have something that...
Yeah.
So apparently like 15,000 people? Or is it more than that now?
Yeah, no, it's quite a bit. It's a good audience.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And I'm very grateful for everybody who participate on that platform. And, a lot of people watch it later on after the show, which is fine because I do it at some bizarre hours. So people don't really have the time to watch it as it's, going on live. But again, it's on the platform. They can see it later on.
But the reason why I reference that, and thank you, and I commend you publicly, because there are many of us who we would expect to be people who would say something because, well, you're easy to talk, that's your profession. You're a teacher, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you are these things. Right? But yet, many people don't have that wherewithal. And you were commended for, hey, I stand behind what I say. This is what I'm saying. And I don't know how else to put it, but to ask people, please, take a page and be willing to share your view as respectfully and responsibly as you can. Because if we don't talk in a democracy, we're going to lose it, man.
Yeah.
And it's slipping a bit fast.
Yeah, and certainly public dialogue and public debate and public conversations in general is very healthy for the environment. Certainly, we would like to be better informed when we have these roundtable discussions publicly. But clearly in Cayman, because it's such a small population, politics play a very heavy role in our everyday lives. So 9 times out of 10 when we're having that roundtable discussion, it somehow involves politics and decision makings and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, if things were going, just operating smoothly, then maybe we can talk about the vacation we want to go on, or maybe we can talk about the vacation that we already went on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not the environment anymore.
And I think like so many, it's not only the public sector employee or the former employee, but even the private sector employee. And worse if you're self-employed. If you say something, you perceive that thing may come back to.
Right, to haunt you. And one of the things I would like to see changed in the Constitution in regards to civil servants. And the reason why I say that is because civil servants are mostly muzzled now from having an interaction or in a public, contribution to certain topics. They have to be very careful because they have a contractual agreement with government to refrain themselves from getting involved. And I understand that it's an existing policy.